she's trapped. She's trapped. She's a trapped puppet. She's performing for an audience of playheads. That is what represents the audience. She's being forced to do things she doesn't want to do. As far as the cigarette is I felt like what that represents. It's like you're performing based off our wants and needs, not off your own. And she's unhappy. Um, and then she's set free. And then she has her ally that sets her free, and now she's able to live life as she sees fit. Um, and I think that this picnic is a representation of welcoming to life. She's experiencing everything through this picnic. There's a little moment of ASMR where they have certain sounds heightened, like the biting of the apple and the clinking of the glasses and everything like that. And then they really start to go to town on this food because it's almost like this gluttonous feeling of, oh, this is the first time you've been able to eat what you wanted to eat or experience food for the first time. How would you eat it? You wouldn't be polite. You would be stuffing it in your mouth and be chugging it down because this is your first moment of like experiencing life through your own lens. And then, then it turns into this overindulgence. It's like, oh, sensuality. Who's this person next to me that has saved me from this and has introduced me to all these things? I want to kiss them now. I want to see what this feels like. And so it's just like the picnic for me represents this idea of overindulgence and this idea of like jumping into life head first. And you have people who might look at that and think that this is you're doing too much, with the bystander that kind of comes and says, oh, no, 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 you're not supposed to be doing that. And it's just like, this is us enjoying our lives. And I feel like the prancing and frolicking is a representation of, being open to the joy that comes in life and finally just having the freedom to make your own choices.
I thought using the 20s style silent films was the perfect choice for this, um, especially given as the lead not being a white character and how they have been mocked throughout centuries. And so that puppetry is not only life pulling her in every direction and controlling her, but it's, holding her there and using her as a form of entertainment. Um, so that I thought was a really specific and good choice to put it in the 1920s. And then to have the woman cut her free and immediately being booed. It's like the person who saves you when you finally feel like you belong and you're free, everyone is against you. But I love that they kept their cheerful attitude, even at the picnic when the white man, of course, mocking them, and how they just throw fruit. You know what? We're happy now. So I thought it was a really good use of film type to tell a story that's really multifaceted about LGBTQ, about being a person of color, about being a woman. So a lot of that was told in a very short amount of time.
It followed a silent film aesthetic for the open and throughout the piece, but it was framed in a way that I thought was very interesting, with female leads, in particular black female leads, which would have been atypical for that time period of filmmaking, as well as sort of a concept of being trapped both by the stage and by performance, and sort of being trapped in your identity. I feel like the themes were mixed. It opens with a woman who was physically trapped on stage, being sort of mocked by a crowd and forced to perform by this crowd. Then she's saved by this other woman. You can tell that the crowd boos and is intent on having her be trapped on the stage. Is later reflected by a man who sees them making out while having a picnic, who also is ostensibly booing them, telling them that what they're doing is wrong, who they are is wrong. And I thought that the piece was really great at sort of breaking old tropes and ideas about who you're allowed to be and how you're allowed to act, while using an aesthetic that comes from a very old time in which those ideas were very prevalent.
Love will set you free, give you joy. It's an interesting analogy at the beginning to see her on the wires in the theater there, and we have these claymation puppets, laughing and jeering. And then she gets cut free, and then they're gonna off enjoying life together, and it ends with them dancing. Yeah, so it's this an odd pantomime, but it works. It gives you from beginning to middle to end. You kind of you get a meaning from it. You kind of understand it. So, Yeah, so nice job with this. The two lead actors did a great job. I love the costume choices. They're so bizarre and off kilter. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was nicely paced, nicely shot. I like the black and white look. It kind of had a black and white silent film look, and it told a whole story without dialogue. So good job there.
Really like the writing in this one. So stylized and symbolic. A woman finds herself roped up by all four limbs, but is freed by a friend and lover. Clever use of the laugh track and the funny little mocking faces. I like the adventures they go through together at their lively picnic and dance. Good call on the black and white. Makes it even more artistic. I like the jazzy soundtrack too. Great pace.
I think that everybody did a great job. Your actors did a great job with the emotion for, it was all of it was without kind of sound, and the music went with it really nicely. I thought that this was so much fun, and it was really well filmed, and everybody did a great job.